afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host, and in studio with me, Q Magic Money Man. What's up, Q?
Good afternoon. Having a lovely day. How about you?
Man, I am doing great. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on rumble.com. Go check us out at rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. We're also on X at Josh Guillory USA. All the streams, all the socials, all the things. Shout out to the KLFY Plus viewing audience, and shout out to That's Real Sha. That's Real Sha, you pretty much summarize it up. Hi, guys. I tuned in for updates. Cool. Stayed for the chaos. You doggone right. Just remember, it's organized chaos, okay? Hey, this topic is brought to you by our friends over there at Sea Safe. Good American company. Good Acadiana company. Did you know that too? Yep. His mic's not on. All good in the hood. Hey, man, we got a great show ahead of us. Let's dive right in. The Louisiana Senate race just got real, if it wasn't already real. I thought it was real already. So let's talk about this. Not sure if you guys saw this, but President Trump really just threw about a pretty big political grenade into the Louisiana Senate, U.S. Senate race by openly encouraging Representative Julia Letlow to primary Bill Cassidy. And this time, not a whisper. You heard some of those whispers a few months ago. Not a leak. It is a straight up public endorsement and loud and clear. And, you know, before anybody really pretends this came out of nowhere, it didn't. And it really didn't. Cassidy's been publicly sparring with, I'm talking about Trump, not necessarily Julia Letlow and all that stuff, who I think very highly of. But Senator Cassidy, I mean, look at what's going on right now, publicly sparring with RFK Jr. over vaccines, over CDC recommendations, over federal health authority, over pretty much anything that Trump says at this point. No, I'm kidding. But he's positioning himself as the adult in the room, Quentin. The doctor defending science. Well, you know, when you do stuff like that, we know what that means with the president. We know. That is seen as open defiance. Now, I'm just saying, we're all wired a certain way. And one way Trump is wired, which is so interesting, is he does not forget. But it seemed like he had. It really did. It seemed like he had forgotten that Senator Cassidy did what he did. Like, I really thought he forgot. I guess maybe he was just saying, it's going to work itself out. I don't know. But I do want to break this down because it's not about, I'm not reporting on this because of any of this like fake outrage stuff. I mean, I don't think that helps anybody. We get enough of that in other outlets. And Julia Letlow, hey, she's a good candidate. She's disciplined. She's likable. She's serious. She votes Republican every single time. So no drama, no weird stuff. Washington Republicans love her for a reason. But here's the question that I want all of us to ask out loud. And I want us to ask it to as many people who talk to you about this as possible, because somewhere here is the truth. Why her and why now? Why Representative Letlow right now? It is January 19th, 2026. Primary. I'm just saying. Why her? Why now? Because Louisiana, from what I'm seeing, has several conservative candidates in the race. You got Senator Blake Miguez in the race. Very much a conservative. Good guy. John Fleming, Secretary Fleming, very much good guy. Conservative. Julie Emerson, wonderful lady, very conservative. And Sammy Wyatt, Dr. Wyatt, he's been hitting the, hey, he has been working hard. I see him out there. But very much a conservative, okay? Now, all conservatives, there's also that, the other person, and I apologize, the Public Service Committee. I would butcher their name. Please feel free to come on the show. Seriously. But all these guys, conservatives, all campaigning hard right now, and all of them building ground games, very important in these kind of elections. So when our boy Trump parachutes in and anoints Letlow, hey, you take it how you want. It tells me two things. Either internal polling says Cassidy is winning against the current crop of challengers, or Washington Republicans want a clean, controllable option, against Cassidy. And let's not kid ourselves. Julia Letlow is a Washington favorite. And that is not an insult to Julia Letlow. That is just a reality. She doesn't scare leadership. Think about it. She doesn't scare leadership. Not at all. She doesn't rock the boat. She fits neatly. Okay. Look, guys, this beast in Congress anybody that wants to say they're going to go in there and blow it up with a grenade, it took almost 250 years to get here. 250. It literally took 250 years to get here as a nation. So it's not going to, Congress hadn't been here 250 years. Almost 13 years shy. But that beast took a minute to get here. So there's paths to making an impact. Right now, the only path, because there's no term limits, is to go. Well, right now, a one sure path is you buy your time and you go through. And that seems to be Representative Letlow's path. It is a path of many people. It doesn't make her a bad person. But that seems to be the path that I'm looking at. Very clean, Washingtonian. This is where the Farks go, okay? It is what it is, but you also know where everything is. You know where the levers are. It is. Then you do have every blue moon. You have somebody like Trump that comes into the legislative branch. Hey, the Democrats, they get it. The AOC came in right off the bat, hot and heavy, something different. Then she had some imitators. Not as hot and heavy, riding the white coattails. You remember the jackets? So look, we're here, but this right here, that is very interesting, but that is not a knock. So when we get back, we'll talk about Senator Cassidy. He responded, and hey, look, everybody's invited on the show. 3 folks took us up on it twice. I'm just saying. Stick around. We'll be right back. My friends over there at Préjeans.
In today's digital world, your business needs more than just a website. It needs a growth engine. At Town Square Interactive, we build custom, responsive websites optimized for SEO and AI search, helping customers find you everywhere they look. We combine targeted digital ads, social media, email marketing, reputation monitoring, online scheduling, invoicing, and clear monthly reports, all in one simple platform. No hassle, real results. Call Casey today at 337-233-6000. Transform your online presence now.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to
I had to
40%
produce
your
the
first
show
year with promo
2
code
days in a row.
ZEROS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Well,
For over 45 years, C-Safe has built the backbone of the toughest structures out there with fiberglass reinforced plastic pultrusion and custom structural fabrication that outperforms steel, wood, and aluminum. Their FRP products are engineered to resist corrosion, reduce maintenance, and outlast the competition in the harshest environments, from offshore platforms to wastewater treatment plants and everywhere in between. There's a reason engineers have trusted C-Safe for superior strength and fabrication, because they're built to outperform, not just compete. Precision built, performance proven, trusted by engineers, architects, and contractors nationwide. When strength matters, when custom matters, when failure is not an option, C-Safe delivers. C-Safe, built to outperform, built to last, built for extremes, trusted for decades. Visit csafe.com. That's SEA, like the ocean, safe.com, and see what 45 years of leadership looks like.
Yes.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors
I couldn't leave the house.
in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
I do like this TikTok thing.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle of your local CVS.
But hey, look, help us share
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yell.
Hopefully not.
I'll be fine.
All right,
if
man.
someone
Hey,
just
to our
hears me
TikTok guys,
talk
man,
and
we
talk and
appreciate
talk
you
and
guys
talk
sticking
and
around.
talk
We got
and
about
talk.
45 seconds left till we go to commercial break. All right. We're going to flip back Rumble, YouTube, all you guys. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, about half a minute. What's up? Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, this segment brought to you by our friends over there at Dino's, 3 locations, same menu. Although I'm sure if you ask for a few, I don't want to get them in trouble. I don't want to get them in trouble. Don Ho, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, guys, sorry we left the commercials on the Rumble. Yep. We're learning. So, we come in good faith. All right, here. So we're talking about we're talking about the U.S. Senate election that will be occurring in the great state of Louisiana this year, and the primary for the Republican nominee and I suppose the Democrat nominee. Did John Bel Edwards sign up yet?
I don't think so. Not yet, at least.
I'm telling y'all. That's the next senator if he signs up. And it might be because of some of this stuff we're talking about.
That was the Huey Long way.
Let's just wait one little moment. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens. I don't know. Because if it that would mean Cassidy would have to get the nominee. So I don't know if that happens.
Yeah, I think if Cassidy is the nominee, John Bell could easily win that race.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
I think it becomes way more difficult.
Oh, I agree. I don't think he runs unless he thinks Cassidy, because they share no disrespect to Senator Cassidy, genuinely, they share a voting pool.
Agreed.
I mean, that is what it is. Anywho, but multiple conservatives, all campaigning. I mentioned the ground game. That's important. That's hard. You know, when you go run an election, when you go and run for office, you're asking people to support you, and they can support you in multiple ways. They can support you by donating money. They can donate their time, but they're donating something to support you, and you need it all. You need the money to run your ads and get your message out. You need the ground game because human beings are the best way to communicate most of the time. I guess there's some exceptions. But you get what I'm saying. All these things are happening right now. All the things that you envision happening in a campaign, all working together, those are happening collectively and individually in all of these conservatives' respective campaigns right now. So it's a valid couple of questions. Why this particular person right now, January 19th? I don't even, when is the primary? Like March? I should know that.
I should know that too. I think March.
We're failing the people. Robert D. Benoit, my dear brother, if you're listening, watching, well, Q's looking it up right now. There you go. But yeah, so President Trump comes in. He anoints Representative Letlow, basically. But Letlow is definitely a Washington favorite. That's not an insult to her. That is the path. But curious here, though. You know, the impact on, the impact on Trump coming in, I don't know what that does right now. I don't know if people are already in their camp. I mean, I talk about it to folks and around folks, but how many of you guys are hearing much about the primary? I don't think we're hearing too much. That's just me. I think, hey, you know, but President Trump carries a big stick. President Trump coming in, and if now, and by the way, he definitely publicly urged her to primary Cassidy. That's without a doubt. You got the info?
May 16th is the Louisiana primary.
It's not till May.
Yup.
That's kind of interesting.
It's late.
That's the election's November, so 6 months. All right. I mean, I guess we can. But a runoff would be what, June? Or is that the runoff? We don't. We'll find out. All right, moving on.
June 27th.
Oh my gosh! So we won't know till June 27th. That's kind of pushing it. That's kind of pushing it. And here's why: because the Democrat Party, if they're wise right now, would get one candidate and run that one candidate from now until the election. And pull all your resources together. You're not isolating anybody, and you are just running your race over and over and over and over. Don't know if that's going to happen. We don't know. But that would be, in my opinion, a wise strategy. Let's hope they don't. Well, I mean, that's the thing. They listen to the show.
That's true.
Oh, that's all right. Still got to execute it. But we'll see. Hey, I mean, what do you think? What do you think the impact is?
I think with a late primary like that, the only plus with it being Louisiana, you're already Republican heavy, Republican leaning, so that provides options.
True.
But that's a late primary, as far as I can think of, probably one of the latest.
As close to I mean, compared to other states, I don't know, but it seems like it is. But Trump coming down, you think he moves the needle?
Nope.
Wow.
It didn't move the needle back when Rispone was running against John Bel Edwards, and I don't think it'll move the needle much today.
How hot and heavy was he for Rispone? I don't remember.
He was pretty passionate. He came down several times. Don Jr. came down.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was pretty much the entire team.
Wow. Yeah, I don't recall that. Yeah, you know, we got to see though, man. So Trump, like I said, he's definitely. I think it's one of two things. I think it's either, you know, the polling over there shows that none of the crowd can beat Cassidy. That if they have the polling there, I don't know. It would be hard for me to believe that with an internal election, a closed primary. well, as close as you can get.
Agreed.
In Louisiana. I mean, everybody else understands closed primary, but we have to somehow mess it up. But better than what we had. I'm going to be quiet. I'm happy. It's better than what we had. But I just, so either internal polling says, man, none of these guys can beat them, or Julia's really an insider and they really like an insider. And I'm not calling her bad for that. Yes, I don't like that environment. No one does. But that environment exists. And Louisiana politicians have navigated those waters quite well, and they're doing it well now. We have the Speaker of the House. We have Scalise, who's the majority now? Or he's not the whip anymore. He's the majority, I believe.
Majority leader, I believe.
Yeah, there you go. That's the two highest Republicans in Congress right now, or in the House at least. Speaker in Congress. Think about that. So, maybe they are playing the long game. But I will say this. I have nothing against Julia Letlow. She's been a consistent and not even controversial Republican vote. She will vote the party line. And you won't have to worry about, in my opinion, I don't think you'll have to worry about any of these antics. I don't think you have to worry about any of these committee hearings, grandstanding on a microphone, all that stuff. I think you just get a clean Republican vote. And, hey, okay, all right. Even when I push back on that's a net win.
I agree.
And it's a net win without the drama. So Julia Letlow as a U.S. Senator, I'm high-fiving folks. Blake Miguez, I'm high-fiving folks. Fleming, all these guys. Emerson. Dr. White would be better than what we have. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying is what I'm saying. But I will say this. No one should crown anybody today. It's June 19th. I want to make it June so bad today. It is January 19th. Doggone, day before Inauguration Day. So January 19th. Nobody should crown anyone today. But we can say with objectivity that the board just changed. I mean, I think this lights a little fuse somewhere. But let's all watch and see where it goes. All right, guys, stick around. We're going to take a little break, man, when we get back. Phone lines are open. I can't wait. Go check us out at rumble.com. The Josh Guillory Show. We'll be right back. What's up, my Rumble, YouTube, all the above, pages, X. And of course, TikTok. Yeah, we're on commercial break right now, but we were just rambling. I was like, man, put the mic on. So Trump getting in, like, it will impact the donor base, if anything. Like, think about this. Those donors. So hey, talk to the folks about this. I'm gonna go get a refill. You want some coffee or anything?
Some coffee.
Gotcha.
I think it basically just means that every single donor across the state, every large donor, just closed their checkbook, and it's now we're waiting to see what Representative Letlow does. Is she going to enter the race? What's Trump's endorsement going to mean? Major donors write checks to campaigns because they see it as investments in their future. The ability to maybe get projects done, pass favorable legislation, long list of reasons. But ultimately, major donors are making investments. And I think today's announcement puts everything on hold. No one's going to write a large check until they know what the field looks like. No one's going to write a large check when all the major candidates aren't even fully announced. And I think overall, this is going to largely demoralize a lot of the campaigns that are currently running. Now, none of that do I mean to be hostile or sound negative towards the endorsement at all. It's just the political reality of these campaigns that they must now face. Where are we going to raise dollars? Where are we going to place our ads? What are we going to do with our ground game? All of that comes into question with this endorsement. Overall, politically, I mean, the Republican Party has a large suite of available apps and tools, but that doesn't always get applied to everyone. Sometimes it's applied to the party's selected candidate.
Yep.
And now all of that's in play. So it's definitely going to be interesting what comes up next.
Now, Q, can the Rumble folks hear you, or are our commercials on?
No, they can hear me.
Because if so, this would be on your mind all day. This is a catchy little PSA. It's the only one.
But, well, we'll be back in about a minute. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com. Go look up the Josh Guillory Show. Man, my favorite part of the whole show, and that is the phone lines, 232-1542, 844-766-6607. Give us a shout. All right, let's see here. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Josh, my name's Fred. I'm calling from the frog capital of the world.
Woo! What's up in rain? What's happening, Fred?
Well, I just wanted to say I don't think the Democrats could run a campaign right now. They don't have a platform. Their whole strategy is attack, attack, attack. So until they have an opponent, they really can't campaign on anything.
Man, that is so true. That is so true. You're right. So on message, you're right. They have no substance. Rhinos, too. They can't run on a platform. They can only run to attack. So they have nobody. So they would just be attacking the pool. But I think, Fred, what really stands out, though, is the opportunity to organize behind one person, behind the scenes. And what President Obama showed us, they can organize. And if they see that they can flip a seat, especially a Senate seat, they will put the resources here to do that. And if they have one candidate to surround themselves around, all the resources that it takes to get that message out right when it counts the most, that infrastructure could be solid. And right now you got a bunch of little bitty infrastructures. So, but hey, that is a solid point. That's true.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother. Tell my people I said hello. All right, let's see here. Man, a lot of good folks in rain, by the way. A lot of good folks. Man, I've had good times in rain. All right, let's go to Renee. What's up, Renee? You pressed it? Renee, what's up? Nope. All right, let's go to Sean. Sean, what's going on, Sean?
Hey, man, when Jamie was still on the show in, November, I brought this topic up to y'all, and y'all said that she wasn't going to run. And, I mean, this has been around. Trump and Landry were working on this for, it seems like 6 months now, even before Miguez and Fleming and all these guys declared that they were going to run. I mean, it seems like old news to me. I mean, do you remember that?
Yes, and it would. And you focus on this, and a lot of people listening, this might sound like old news because we did cover it, and you're right. Now, it's my understanding she is not announced. I think this is just a public urging. And that's why I ask, and Sean, think about this. Why her and why now? And the only way that I can think of is, it's just my opinion, two ways. Either the polling shows that none of the current folks can beat Cassidy head on, or they just want an insider. And she's an insider for sure. Doesn't make her a bad person. Look, when I was serving, I met her. I had to, be in the same room several times. Always nice. Seems like she's an honest person. Her constituents seem to be happy. But she's definitely a safe Republican vote.
Well, the thing about Cassidy, I mean, he basically is claiming that the only reason RFK got the win for Secretary of Health was because Cassidy voted him in. And, Trump begged him, please get this guy through. So I don't know. He's a carpetbagger. I'd like to see him similarly. Is all I can say about it.
Thank you, Sean. Mince no words. Always bringing wisdom. All right, let's try again here. You going to Renee? Renee, what's up, Renee?
It's just the amount of people you got selected to vote. I mean, the hardcore people that really looks at the issues and vote for the better of themselves, their community, and the country is going to vote. But you got a lot of wishy-washy people that whatever the fad is, because of our commercial culture, they're going to vote for that. The chance of having trash is so great, it's insane. It's disturbing. It's not comfortable. Look at what we had before as the governor. That's insane. How can you be a soldier, a state trooper, and then go to the left? That don't make no sense.
Hey, thanks, Renee. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Let's go to Warren. What's up, Warren?
Well, this connection between Trump and Jeff Landry really troublesome because, Louisiana has got $20 billion disappeared from road money. Nobody can give an explanation for. I mean, that's some pretty good misappropriations or whatever you want to call it. But, and he's connected with this guy. And, Trump has done everything right as far as I'm concerned, everything except for unequal protection under the law, which some of it has been a lot of it came from Biden, and Obama, who now the people in Iran want to get rid of being Muslim. They don't want to be Muslim. And where did Obama lean? He leaned with the Ayatollah, shows who he really was. And these people, we building mosques all over this country and calling it religion. It's not religion. It's terrorism. Tear them down. Thank you, Josh.
Well, thank you, Warren. Thank you. Again, I always feel the need to say all of my dealings with people that I know are Muslim have always been peaceful. I just feel the need to say it. I get it. But there is a difference between that and radical Islamic terrorist. I just want to say it because I feel better. Genuinely feel better saying it. I don't know what it means by me feeling better, but I feel better. Nah. And I do mean it, though. Okay, so we got way more to talk about than that. All right, storming a church. Come on. Did you see that story?
Insane.
Like, man, you don't storm a church.
Ever.
Never. Ever. All right, so this over the weekend, you may have seen this, guys. Minnesota anti-ICE protesters very peacefully forced their way into a church during a worship service. You know, what you expect at a protest, people praying, families seated quietly, service in progress. And they did it because they thought one of the pastors worked for ICE. So they disrupted a church service and targeted people at worship. And now the Department of Justice is stepping in. Alina Habba says the DOJ will enforce the FACE Act. I do not know what that stands for, FACE. We don't even need to look it up. Because according to the article I'm relying on, says it protects religious worship from force, threats, and obstruction, and federal law, I do know, does that. Now, the AG, Pam Bondi, she backed it up. No ambiguity there. Full investigation. She's got her troops on the ground, her judicial troops, justice troops. Yeah, there you go. Apparently, there is a difference. So there is an important part, though. Now, we're talking about people rolling up in a church service, disrupting it, all because they think a pastor works for ICE. None of this, what we're talking about, none of it is about immigration policy. None of this is about ICE tactics. We're not even having discourse on that. They're not even having discourse, period. And this isn't about the border even. It's about law and order. And how about this? Boundaries. I'll use one of their, I'll use one. I will meet them where they're at, man. It's about boundaries. You can march. We're going to talk about these boundaries. March. March, march, march yourself until you can't march no mo. Chant. Quite frankly, when I was in office, some of those chants, like, I'll be honest with you, in some of those protests, they were catchy. Like, I was in a gym one time, and I had to catch myself. I was tapping on the floor, like, to the beat. And I was reminded that there's cameras, and I was like, all right, that would be weird. But by all means, man, chant your little hearts out. Protest outside your respective city hall until your voices give out. Whatever. But the moment you walk into a church to shut down worship, come on, man. You crossed the line. And you crossed a line that Americans, we understand. Democrat, Republican, Independent, like, this ain't play. Now, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, it's hard for me to get through some of these facts. You know what I mean, Quentin? Mayor Frey says these protests are peaceful and motivated by love and community. Love hurts in Minnesota. Man, that defense, love and peaceful, man, that collapses the moment people are blocked from leaving a church parking lot. Come on now. All right, I could go on, and maybe we will. We'll take a little break. When we get back, we'll wrap a bow on this topic and so much more. Stick around. What's happening, our Rumble crew out there? YouTube, guys, we're on a commercial break. Got my people on TikTok right here. I'm asking anybody outside of Louisiana. Anybody. We get one of the cool things about this is we see a lot of statistics in the show.
That's for sure.
Yeah, you hear Quentin. I always like to see the stats outside of Louisiana because we're both from Louisiana. The show's broadcast in Louisiana. You could say I have some ties to this community. I do love this community very much. Very, very, very much. But I always love to see the stats that show our viewing audience outside of Lafayette, outside of Louisiana specifically. And we got quite a bit now, and it grows. So I think our social media is probably helping with that.
Oh, definitely.
Man, we got one right now is going pretty. Yeah, got several conversations going.
Yeah.
Sometimes the comments are more entertaining than the post, or more valuable. Because look, guys, I do try to see now some of the comments. When we have stuff that goes viral, and we're grateful. It's hard to read all the comments, but we do pop in and try.
And I've definitely found content in the comments where when I go Google it, I'm like,
oh, absolutely.
The people have to hear this.
Hey, I got one for everybody. I got one. Again, we're on commercial break here, guys. We're just shooting the change. So look, check this out. Did President Obama, did he really issue Holman an award for his service as an ICE member?
Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Not freedom.
I believe so.
I think it was like distinguished service or something. But still, who cares? It was for his service in ICE.
I was blown away by it.
So it is real.
It is real.
Wow.
We have the fact checkers.
Yes.
A 2015 Presidential Rank Award to Thomas D. Holman.
Enforcement and removal. Oh, I got to read that.
Yes.
I got to read that. Okay, so yeah, man, official fact checkers here. How do you know they're the official fact checkers?
They're called factually.
So that's the fact. That's how you vetted them?
They're on the internet, so it must be true. I learned that from my uncle.
Get us a different source too. Well, this does reference. Yeah, get one more. Just get one more source. I want to see this. I want to see this search result. We're talking about President Obama issuing Tom Holman of all people. So we have, if you looked at social media over the weekend, it kind of blew, if your algorithm, I guess, is set to mine, you'll see.
ICE.gov.
Get out of here.
Official government sourcing.
Yes. Yes, indeedy. Wow. Go back to that other site. I like how it reads better. I'll read it from there. Wow. Man, they didn't know this was out there.
In the bumper.
They're sitting there. We're going back live, by the way. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Hey guys, when strength matters, when custom matters, when failure is not an option, C-Safe. They deliver. C-Safe FRP products are engineered to resist corrosion, reduce maintenance, and outlast the competition in the harshest environments. From offshore platforms to wastewater treatment plants and everywhere in between, C-Safe. Their products are American-made. Love it. Manufactured right here in Acadiana by American workers. C-Safe. Check them out. csafe.com. S-E-A. Just like the ocean. So when you have, we're going to go back to Minnesota here a little bit. When you have people rolling up into a church service, just busting up in, disrupting, that is a line. I don't care what you say. That is a line that Republicans, independents, Democrats, we all worship. And it does seem to think, what if a conservative group, and I don't even know, these guys aren't liberals. They just hate America. They're just anti-Americans, period. I mean, they give liberals a bad name. Liberals, remember Joe Liberal, just like plain old tree-hugging liberal? Just chain yourself to a dang bulldozer and want to save unicorns. I'm all in, man. I can meet you where you at, brother. I will find a fiscally responsible way to see if we can accomplish some things here, okay? Now, I can't be finding unicorns, but I'll find something for you.
I mean, I like manatees.
That's good. Hey, guys, we're going to go back to the phone, but hey, I found this little pearl real quick. We'll get back to the story. Did anybody see that over the weekend? This picture of President Obama giving Tom Homan, I butcher his name every time. Tom Homan, I'm just going to read it because this is the executive summary and this is verified. Barack Obama did present a 2015 Presidential Rank Award to Thomas Homan, commonly referred to in the press as Tom Homan, when Homan was ICE's Executive Associate Director for Enforcement and Removal Operations. Man, you can't make this up. So come on. Now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever seen President Obama criticize Tom Homan.
Maybe not directly. He'll just criticize policy.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. But his people seem to be a little bit more keenly focused on optics. We'll let Hillary do it. Let's go back to the phone lines. Mr. Bobby, what's up, Mr. Bobby?
Yeah, LT, I forget whose funeral all the presidents were at, but Obama and President Trump are shooting the bull back and forth laughing, and everybody else is serious. But Trump said a long time ago, he said, I like Obama. He's a nice guy. I just don't like his policies.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another thing. I'm on the record not opposing the use of military in the war on drugs and normalizing U.S. forces for domestic law enforcement, correct?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, all these idiots on TV. You know, I tell you what, those people in Minnesota, I've never seen the ignorance out of adults.
It's hard to, Mr. Bobby, it is hard to like, man, you could be as left as you want. Your damn city's going under. Like, your capital right in front of everybody.
Yeah, I tell you what, pull all the ICE agents out of there and watch the chaos get worse. I'm out.
You ain't kidding. Very appropriately outed the situation. Yes. And speaking of Minnesota and Minneapolis, let's go back to that, the protest. These guys bust up into a church service, interrupt a church service, disrupt worshipers, all because they think a pastor at the church works for ICE. And then the mayor over there is saying this is peaceful. Well, peaceful, mayor, doesn't trap families. Like they were blocking the parking lot. Peaceful doesn't intimidate worshipers, especially in their most vulnerable state. Peaceful, mayor, doesn't confuse a sanctuary for a political stage. And that is what these people did. And that's where the problem starts. When you got these state and city leaders who refuse to do their job, it creates a vacuum. And it creates the vacuum that we're seeing right now. So, got to stay aware, got to stay vigilant, got to stay communicative, Q. And you got to stay there. Don't touch the dial. Don't click the button. We'll be right back. What up, Rumble? Put our lower third on, though. What's happening? Rumble. Rumble.com. Let me see that chat over here, bud. I can't see it. We are in commercial break in between hours. We certainly appreciate you guys. Let me see that chat rocking a little bit more. That's Real Shad, Don Ho, man. They got us kicked off early, too. Not kicked off, but started.
I see someone's getting ready to watch the national championship game. Talking about kickoffs and.
No joke, man. I can't wait to we didn't even talk about it. What you think?
I saw a video over the weekend of an Indiana dad that just won me over to their side. He got an entire plane to sing their chant. And to me, that just speaks magnitudes of this guy's ability to communicate and convince people to do things.
The dad?
Yes.
Oh, 100%. That dad needs to be on our team.
Absolutely.
Somewhere. I don't know where, but he needs to be in the ecosystem. Yeah, because if you could do that. Now, but here's the deal. Indiana is so easy to love.
It really is. Well,
I mean, they're the Cinderella story, although if you say that, you weren't watching last year. They went 12-0, and then they just happened to lose the championship game and happened to lose. All right, they happened to lose the championship game and the bowl game. I remember 2008. I believe Alabama went 12-0. Lost the SEC championship game and lost the bowl game. Came back in 2009, won the national title. 11 against LSU, 2011 against LSU, 2012 against Notre Dame, 2015, 2017, and 2020. So, Indiana, different age. Not comparing the guy to Saban, but I am telling a fact here though. So that is interesting, and he did it in his first year. Saban did it in his second year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Saban won his title in his third year. So the 12-0 start that I'm referencing was Saban's second year at Bama. His first year, you may recall, he lost to ULM.
I forgot about that.
All right. I got to wrap up. He's got to do traffic. What an excuse. All right. We'll be right back. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show, hour number 2, and it's a good one for you. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also, check us out at the mothership, rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. You can go to my X page at Josh Guillory USA and all the socials and all of the above and all the things and all the things. But we are certainly happy to be here with you today, guys. This segment brought to you by my friends over there at csafe.com. Good Acadiana company, good American company, right, y'all? All right, so, guys, we got a little important issue that I didn't even address today, and I'm so sorry. We got a national championship game tonight. And whether you watch football or not, it's kind of an interesting story. You have Indiana, who Robert D. Benoit says on the Rumble chat, "Go Indy, will be a blowout." Well, if you watch their games, you would say yes. You would say yes. But I got to tell you, Miami, what a story. What a story. You know, a storied program in the 80s, 90s. Hey, back then, you know, they were looked at as these cons, you know, Catholics versus convicts type stuff, you know. You remember that?
I do not.
You don't? Oh, gosh, that was Notre Dame and all these guys. Anywho. Well, Miami, if you look back, all that dancing is mild compared to what you see today, if you think about it. But regardless, they have a history of winning, to say the least. Indiana does not. And they've had 2 remarkable seasons. But I think Miami's sneaky. I don't know. I mean, they beat Ohio State, didn't they? They had to win 3 games to get here in the playoffs. But Indiana, whew, that's a good team. Well-disciplined team. But what are they to you? What did you say?
I just feel like Indiana's the more wholesome state.
Yeah.
Like Miami just feels plastic and fake.
Oh,
and
no.
Indiana just feels like the American heartland.
You said that they were America's Southern Baptist team.
Yes, absolutely.
Dude, that might be the best. Because, you know, Notre Dame, back in Coach I'm going to butcher it. Don't even try. But they kind of built on the Catholic connection across the country. Would go play games and have a fan base all over the place. And perhaps Indiana may be America's Southern Baptist team. Who knows? Wow. Let's go back to Greenland. It'll be interesting to see who wins the game. I think both teams have had a wholesome way here. I will say that. They have both worked their tails. I'm not just saying that like they're both blue. They're very, very interesting teams. Blue collar, work hard. Both the coach for Miami, man, he seems to be a very humble guy. Very, very hardworking guy. And the coach for Indiana, he's a character. I like him. That's discipline, man. Discipline. Let's go to Greenland. Boy, this one, let me tell you, the more and more I think of Greenland, the more and more I have thoughts on Greenland. So quick one here, because this doesn't deserve breathless drama, so I'm going to try not to do that, because right now, I was watching this all weekend, and apparently the mass media, not everybody, they want us to believe that Trump's comments about Greenland have Europe somehow like on the brink of war. You know, troops mobilizing, NATO collapsing, headlines screaming escalation. I mean, it is typical, but here's the reality. Europe, this is what happened. This is what actually happened. Europe sends a few dozen symbolic personnel to Greenland. Liaison officers, recon teams, if you will, photo op deployments. Meanwhile, the United States already has hundreds of troops stationed there under an existing agreement. Nothing new. This is not a buildup. We are seeing posturing, but this is not a buildup. And Denmark knows it. The White House knows it. Every serious military planner knows this. This is negotiation theater. Kind of like a price-setting exercise. Last week we were talking about signal. Well, this is a signal and nothing more. But here's the part where I think we can comfortably say out loud. Comfortably and confidently. The same countries pretending to stand firm against America haven't sent a single soldier to Ukraine during an actual war. That should tell you everything you need to know. Greenland is not a crisis. It is very much leverage. Trump understands leverage, and this is what this is, and I think he understands leverage better than anyone in the room. He has his flaws, we all do, but this seems to be a strength. The panic, however, fake. The stakes are exaggerated. And the coverage is really exactly what Trump and the media both kind of thrive on, if you think about it. So, but kind of backing up a little bit. Until recently, I haven't even really thought about Greenland in a serious way. But if you look at military strategy, which I am not even close to being an expert, but I can understand that there are military interests here. I can understand, and most folks can understand, that there are supply lines. When you look at the map and you look at what's going on in current events, strategic positioning, Arctic access, like all this stuff, power projection, there's so many things that go into this. But when you actually look at the map, it suddenly makes a lot more sense. And you kind of know what's happening. So it's an interesting story. It's an interesting approach, but it is more than a story right now, I believe. So, all right, guys, stick around. When we get back, we'll talk about this and so much more, and I can't wait. Tell the folks what we're talking about.
Talking about Greenland and invites getting retracted to envoys.
I didn't go there. He wanted to.
I'm just saying, to get an invite and then have it retracted, it's embarrassing, especially if you're a diplomatic envoy from the United States of America.
So what you were saying, the bobsled, that's a big deal.
To me, that sounds equestrian.
Yeah.
Meaning it's going to be expensive. People who ride horses, that's affordable.
Yeah.
People who participate in equestrian sports, unaffordable.
That is one of the most expensive.
Definitely.
I mean, I just saw Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart's gear at the Summer Olympics in 2024, and that alone looked expensive.
Oh, definitely. Like growing up, I had friends who engaged in equestrian sports, and they had these nice air-conditioned horse trailers, and their horses were basically the equivalent of thoroughbreds.
Everybody in most people in South Louisiana, or Louisiana, period.
But
you been to a rodeo?
To me, that represents who was going to be addressed by the special envoy at this event. It wasn't going to be Greenland's everyday people. It was going to be the elite of Greenland, which is not in the list of things I thought I would say this year.
But it's not. Does Greenland have any elites, or is it Denmark or whatever?
I'm assuming there are elites in Greenland. They could be from Denmark. They could be from. It's so confusing because it's like, is it their own country or is it a territory?
Very good question. Oh, it's a territory by all means, but it's part of their country, yeah. Which they can't defend. Which they can't. I'm like, it's there because we all let it. I mean, that's the reality, whether we like it or not. All right. Hey, guys, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on Rumble, rumble.com, man. Go check us out, the Josh Guillory Show. Hey, this segment brought to you by our friends over there at Stan's Auto. For all your automobile needs, go check my boys and gals out over there at Stan's. 2 locations, by the way, New Iberia and Lafayette. Greenland. Yeah, it's starting to make a little sense. And I'll be honest, as I'm paying more attention to it, I'm also learning a lot more about our involvement in Greenland. And apparently, we've been involved for quite some time. And a lot of what we're talking about has already happened as far as our defense posture and military posture. It's just not being done in name. It's just being done. But I can definitely see the benefit of securing. Well, I'm not saying we take over Greenland. I don't know what the benefit of that would be. Let them take care of it, but secure our military. But maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a legal reason to do it. I don't know. But I know that my view on Greenland, my personal journey, has changed a little bit. My thoughts on it. It's less silly to me. I was in my silly meter. It was high. It's like 9.2. Not quite a 10, but it was up there. I'm probably at a 6.4 and a half, 6.45 right there. with the trajectory of getting to about 2 on the silly scale. So that's just me. That's my journey. Your journey with Greenland and Trump may be different. And if yours is happier than mine, I take yours.
Hey, there's always a dog race.
Always. Boy. You got it in. All right. Okay, let's see here. Let's switch gears here, okay? But Greenland's very interesting, very strategic. Not just military, it appears, for supply lanes, supply lines, just a lot of things. Speaking of those, let's talk about Russia. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. See, we should have let Jamie know on this one. He would have liked this one. This one is easy to kind of brush through on the media, very easy to butcher the narrative, very easy to butcher the facts. So let's just dive right in. Senator Lindsey Graham, who is a friend of the show, says his Russia sanctions bill, which he has been advocating for, is, quote, never going back on the shelf. And he said that now that President Trump is given it the green light. And that sentence alone should tell you a lot about how Washington works. So this bill has been floating around forever. Forever. It comes alive when Trump signals support, which has happened, then mysteriously drifts away when negotiations heat up. None of that's by accident. All of that is for leverage. And the core of the bill is very simple. Very simple. Hammer countries that keep buying Russian oil, gas, uranium. Those are the major ones. So China and India, these are the two big ones. If you cut off that revenue, you squeeze Putin's war machine without firing a shot. And now, all of a sudden, a lot of things are making sense. Maduro's capture is making sense. Its impact with Cuba and oil and gas there, too, makes a little sense. History will tell us where we're at 50 years from now. Right now, we're in the midst of a president who knows who he's fighting for and wakes up every day fighting for him. Sometimes not in the most conservative way. I ain't mad at you. Your net batting average is Hall of Fame. I'm not going to agree every time. My goodness, no one can do that. But this bill, it is pretty harsh, because here's the part where the coverage I've seen can be a little confusing. A lot of folks think sanctions, still, even today, think that sanctions are about punishment. They're not, at least not the way these are being used. Sanctions are about pressure. They're bargaining chips. Think of it like that. And Trump, he likes having a big stack of chips at the table, and he likes to put them on the table. That's his style. That is his leadership style. That is his negotiation style. Everybody has one. Leaders, if you don't have a leadership style, grab one. Otherwise, you'll be confused, and so will your people. Genuinely. Got to know who you are. But right now, Trump is trying to broker an end to the Ukraine war. He wants that badly. How badly? And look, for whatever reasons, I think the world is better when that war is over, okay? If it's the Nobel Peace Prize, I don't know. If it's, a part of me thinks, I didn't create it, but I'll finish it. I get it. I get it. Biden created it, and you want to finish it. I get it. And it's, I don't care your motives. It is good. It is good. It is good. I mean, I do care, but, we have to compromise at some point. But Trump is trying to broker an end to that war. He's publicly saying Zelensky is dragging his feet. He's also saying Putin is ready to deal. Let all of that kind of work together. Put all that in a gumbo and ball it. Because whether you agreed or not, all of this tells us something very important, once again, in negotiations, and that is Trump wants options. And this is, for whatever reason, creating options for him, and it seems to be benefiting the United States. History will tell us. We can't go out there and claim victory right now, but I'm saying claiming victory as a country, not as a party. Because I'm not terribly convinced. Well, we'll go there another day. But the sanctions bill, like an actual bill, and I mean harsh bill, not just to Russia directly, but indirectly, it gives him options. And notice what's happening behind the scenes right now. The Senate wants to move on it. The House wants it to start in the House. Leadership is arguing over process. None of that is accidental either. Washington loves to slow walk things so everyone can say they support something without actually having to vote on it. Joni Ernst. You're labeling those eggs, though. That egg labeling bill, that was very important. Not the $2.1 trillion that you found and don't know how to drop a bill on Capitol Hill. And if your intel was wrong, even more reason. Even more reason, because I'm assuming you got it from a public source from inside. That needs to be exposed too if they're telling you the wrong thing. Or is it that we shouldn't believe anything you guys say? I mean, trust is at an all-time low. But notice all of that, all behind the scenes because the president leans in. Trump backing this bill, he's not saying that he wants to use it tomorrow. That's important too. But think about what he has in his arsenal. That's just another tool in the toolbox. And he wants it loaded. He wants it locked, cocked, and ready to rock. Right there sitting on the table while the negotiations continue. That is his style. I'm not mad at him. That's the key point here, though. So this isn't escalation. None of it is. When we hear about that in the media, you should debunk that immediately. All of what we're seeing is positioning. That's what we're seeing here. And we're seeing this play out, quite frankly, in objectively looking at this in a way that seems to be positioning our country in a very, very strategic manner. And I'll say it very clearly. Economic pressure beats endless war every single time. Take it. If sanctions, if that's what moves Putin towards the table without American boots on the ground, great. That's a win, period. And this is Trump doing what he does best, which is keeping everyone guessing, keeping leverage in his pocket, and forcing movement where stagnation really used to live. He used to hibernate there. All right, guys, stick around. When we get back, my favorite part, the phone lines wide open, 232-1542, 844-766-6607. I can't wait to hear from you. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also rebroadcasting on KLFY Plus. Man, shout out to our viewing audience all across the many spectrums. We certainly appreciate you. Go check us out at rumble.com and join that chat. Phone lines are wide open. 232-1542, 844-766-6607. Who we going to first? Q Money Magic Man.
Renee,
what you got, buddy?
Yeah, we need Greenland. It's tactical. It's a tad bit much taking it away from them, but, I mean, we do need Greenland. But, hey, as long as he's going that route, how about Panama? We definitely on Panama. I mean, it's making great money, and then if China acts up in Taiwan, we could shut Panama down on them. And then to finish off, we lost the Philippines. But guess who else could do better than the Philippines? Vietnam. They were our ally during World War II. Before, during, and after the Vietnam War, they wanted us for a Navy base. And what better Navy base than right in between China's legs? We could have a group effort. Vietnam, South Korea, Japan, and anybody else could have troops there. Right? If we weren't trying to act up, we could go straight to Beijing, right through Vietnam.
Hey, good points. I appreciate you, Renee. Look, a lot of interesting points. I think a lot of things would have had to happen, and we do have the benefit of looking back in history, weren't the decision makers at the time, and giving those guys the benefit of the doubt, assuming they made decisions based on the information given to them. Collectively we can look back and say, well, we would have done it differently. But all good points. And if it would have rolled out just like that, that would have been absolutely ideal for the country. And Renee has called in several times on the Panama Canal, and I gotta admit, I'm with him on this because, why did we? That was the most foolish thing. We built the thing. How many people couldn't do it? How many countries? France tried. I think Spain maybe. I don't know if it's Spain. Don't quote me on that. But we were the ones that did it. And we just give it away. Why? Why did we do a lot of things we did in the last 50 years? Why did we transfer our economy from a building economy, from a manufacturing economy, to a service-related economy? Why would we hand our jobs over? Why would we do that? Why would we help people that hate us? Why would we give our economy to them? Why would we do a lot of things? Why would we build the Panama Canal and give it away? I mean, if we're giving things away, I keep telling them, give away Southern California. And can we trade them? Maybe we take the Panama Canal, and they get Southern California. Northern California here is very, I don't know. I've never been. I've been to San Jose for 2 days, 3 days for a work thingy. Never left the hotel. Beautiful place. Shows how exciting I am. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Mr. Bobby, bring the heat, baby.
Yeah, about a year ago, SEAL Team 6 has been training Philippine SEALs. There's about 100 of them they're training. They're probably through with their training now. But, as our military background shows us, that Russian-Ukraine thing is a complicated situation. Now, if we were in the staff room with Trump, there'd be a lot of cussing, not at one another, but a Zinc Man and Putin. But then I would tell Pam, you have to leave the room for 12 minutes.
That's right.
Because my mother told me not to cuss in front of women unless I'm married to them. Simplify out.
Sound the charge. Sound the charge. I love it. He's a gentleman about it, dang it. And I think he was patented. I think he can get it done in 8 minutes, but I respect you never know. Maybe there was some extra cussing.
It's a safety factor.
Absolutely. Good job, Mr. Bobby. Very responsible in your deployment of terminology, expression. All right, let's go to Warren. What's up, Warren 2.0 today? What's happening, baby?
Yeah, lone survivor. The Democrats got a losing strategy. Barack Obama got our people killed over there, and one of them right now whining about how we went into Venezuela with Delta Force, that we didn't need that. Because they go in with a losing attitude. They go in wanting to lose, but Trump's a winner. And I got nothing against peaceful Muslims. It's just the ones that go jihad. That's when I get worried, when they go jihad. But, Michigan, they had a 100-car pileup in the fog, and that's a shame. But, that state there, you see what these people are doing now. I'm kind of glad, because when they went in that church, they broke federal law and they got all their names. They were being very boastful, on the when they were filming them. So they got a list of names. They got everything they need. I think it's fantastic. Lock them up. And I wanted Renee to talk about, Biden and them and unequal protection of the law, because it goes along with communism, and he knows a lot more about that. But I see it as being communism, and our people making themselves kings. They need to stop being kings and be servants of the public. Thank you, Josh.
Well, thank you, Warren. I appreciate that. Let's go to Sean here. Sean 2.0 today. What's happening, baby?
Man, I find it funny that, the Europeans, our allies, quote unquote, didn't do a damn thing about Russia or anything else. But when we want Greenland, they're going to move in military up there like we're actually going to fight. So that's just hilarious to me. You know what? I never gave a damn about Greenland, but now I want it. It's the apple of my eye. I want it now.
It's starting to look appealing. Sean.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
What a great point. What a great point. Europe, you didn't do it. Be quiet. Russia actually did invade a country. And Ukraine, I hear it's European. I never understood how that's a European country, but it's a European country. That's what I hear it referred to as. But it's at least close to you. And you want to talk about Trump? And then you want to pretend that what we're already doing is somehow something new? I mean, I get it. Taking over Greenland, that was an interesting way to start the negotiations. Greenland becoming a territory or a state, I get it. Sledgehammer, I understand. Not sure why. Don't have to know why. I don't have to know why. But I got it. And it is another thing about Trump. Man, that dude knows how to market and knows how to communicate to the masses. We all keep up with this stuff, and we really didn't know much about Greenland. There's a reason he says all this stuff, and now I think at minimum there's a lot more awareness about what the strategic value of Greenland is because of these conversations. So perhaps that's what the sledgehammer did. I don't know. Time will tell. But no one, anybody watching this, no one can reasonably conclude that there's not an advantage to having our interests protected in Greenland. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's see here. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, that's John from Appaloosas.
What's happening, Hey, man, what's happening? What you got, baby?
Man, I'm truly blessed and highly favored to see another day, my brother.
Amen.
President Trump is the greatest marketer. People don't realize, the only person that's been protecting Greenland was us. Since 1946, somewhere around 51, we got a base in Greenland. Nobody else have a base there but us.
Exactly. Great point. Great point. And look, and they want to act like this is something new.
Well, if you look at President Trump, he don't come up with it. It's always the Monroe Doctrine. It's always something that was in the past that never got done that he is doing. Great. Like you say, what day did he go into Venezuela? The same day we went and got Panama, Noriega, Operation Just Cause. The same day. He do it so you can't say nothing about it.
That's right.
Because it's been done before.
That's right. Man, well said. Well said. Great representative of the wonderful folks in O-Town up there, Opelousas, St. Landry Parish. We got parishes here in Louisiana for our folks outside this great state. But yeah, look, that and what kicked off this conversation was Senator Graham's bill finally going on. Looks like it's going through the legislative process. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. Stick around. A tiny little break. We'll be right back. What's up, Rumble.com, YouTube, all the streaming services. We were just visiting with our TikTok folks. They never go off. You got the most raw version, but you only got one camera.
That's true. And we were talking about St. Landry Parish. Most people don't know this, but it's as nice as the south of France. I know this because I'm from there.
Okay. And is the south of France nice?
I've always been told it is.
Well, see? So we got a few minutes, guys, until we go to break, till we get out of break, and I think we can end this. I mean, we have a couple of things. We got Chevron we could talk about. We got Kamala Harris, Josh Shapiro, the left eating their own.
Which that whole story is so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Like, I read the story, and I was like, what did I just read?
Yeah, like talking about Israel and stuff. You saw that?
Yeah, it's like, what are y'all doing?
I mean, yeah, we're going to talk about that. He's a Jewish governor, things like that.
And then, this is the most messed up part. I get him confused with Ben Shapiro.
Ow?
I get the governor and Ben
Shapiro. Got it? Age gap?
I constantly get him confused, and I'm like, why is the ultra conservative? Oh, it's the other one. It's like, why was Kamala Harris wrong person.
Oh, I need to do we got our folks. We got all our folks in today.
Yes, sir.
Our main folks. Not all of them. Hey, speaking of CSAFE, are we good?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's supposed to be on the way.
Okay. That's cool. If it's, then we just know what day it's, but it's the 19th. Okay. All the folks. Just stay on it, man. Stay on it. That time between mass, the morning hour and then the production.
Yes, sir.
And, put me to work.
Everything works out. I have 2 this week.
Yes.
Like, I see I don't see any barriers. Everything looks good.
Swing by.
Yes, sir.
Swing by. You can even say, hey, look, when you're going to be by, I'll bring something. But, Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Hey, guys, let me tell you about my friends at CSafe. When strength matters, when custom matters, when failure not an option, like can't happen, CSafe, that's who you call because they deliver. CSafe FRP products are engineered to resist corrosion, reduce maintenance, outlast the competition in the harshest environments, and we know about those: offshore platforms, wastewater treatment plants, everything in between. CSafe, their products are American-made. They're manufactured right here in Acadiana by American workers. CSafe, check them out, csafe.com. SEA, just like the ocean. Shout out to my buddy Clay and his crew, man. Love those guys and gals. Love those guys and gals. All right, final segment of the show, guys. Let's go straight to so Kamala Harris back in the news. If you dive deep enough, this is an interesting little article we stumbled across. Apparently, Kamala Harris, Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania, and the left eating its own. That's kind of my notes right there. And this one kind of tells us all we need to know about the modern Democrat Party. Okay, so Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says that during Kamala Harris's vice president's vetting process, you know, it's a big deal when you become the nominee. You got to vet the vice president because they're one heartbeat away. Her team asked him, though, he said he was very interesting that her team asked him if he had ever been an, quote, agent of the Israeli government. Now, let that sit for a second. They didn't ask him about policy or any kind of like voting record or anything like that. They didn't, from what he's saying, they didn't go into his leadership or any kind of tough obstacles he's had to address as governor of Pennsylvania. Oh, no. They asked the Jewish governor if he was secretly working for Israel. And, you know, that didn't come from the right. It didn't even come from some fringe activist. It came from inside the Democratic machine. Now, I'm convinced if Shapiro is her vice president nominee, if that's the candidate, I think they win Pennsylvania. But you disagree.
I don't know, man. Look, Governor Walz was such a force. It's hard to quantify the impact he had.
It's hard for me to listen to this.
And when I say the force, I don't mean positive. I mean negative. It is almost impossible to quantify the damage, irreparable harm he did to that campaign. Now, that's not to say that campaign was run well or efficiently. It was run terribly.
I think the best part of the whole campaign, well, one of my best favorite parts was the vice president campaign debate, the vice presidential candidate debate. Because you could tell Governor Walz, Tim Walz was ready for angry Tim.
Yes.
Mean Tim was coming out. And then J.D. Vance just disarmed him, and those two talk like gentlemen, and it was the best debate I've seen in a long time.
Which, that in itself, that's the proof. Tim Walz can stop being silly when Tim Walz wants to be. It's all an act.
Dude, that's the most concrete example you had. I knew we brought this up for a reason because remember, you had convinced me that there's no way that somebody can be that silly in public and in private. And I keep looking for concrete evidence. And I think you got one. I think you just nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, he went in depth. Like, they had conversations.
Because he also looked a little confused at first. He's like, whoa, angry Tim, go inside. Goofy Tim, no. Smart, sophisticated Tim, okay.
I don't think that part's fake. I think he is genuinely always confused.
I don't know. You don't get to where he got to being confused. The man's a sergeant major. I'll give him that. He's the governor of, and he was a former representative. Now, you know, goofy as it, but then again, does that really say much? I mean, Ilhan Omar's there, and she's clearly a puppet.
Absolutely.
No one gets legislation their freshman year that can feed that much fraud without being a puppet. I'm convinced of that. Okay, they let her talk. Oh goodness. I wish we had more time, especially on that topic. Hey guys, thank y'all so much. I enjoyed these 2 hours. I certainly hope you did. Be careful out there. May God bless you. And be kind.